Are you having a line in the sand kind of week? That kind of week where the volcano has blown wide open. It might look like you just can't take it anymore. Like, this has got to end. I call that the line in the sand that we finally get to. I've heard from a few clients who are experiencing that line in the sand with their partners, another one with their job, another one with beliefs. Oh, we have to get to that line in the sand sometimes, that point where we just can't take it anymore, because that's the only way that we decide to do something about it. It's the only time we say, okay, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm going to quit. I'm going to get my husband and I in therapy, or I'm sick and tired of my old patterns. We usually don't do anything until it gets pretty bad, because we're wired for comfort. We're wired to stay the same. What I want to talk about is something that women experience more than men, and that's anger. Men in general, not all of them, but men can generally just reframe something without this big rush of emotion. But with women, that's not usually true. We have been shamed for our feelings. We've been shamed for being too much, too fat, too old, too thin, too fill in the blanks. And we've been shamed by society for overreacting, for being maybe too sensitive, whatever that means. So, what I want to say is, if you're feeling anger right now, whether it's at somebody else or at yourself, that's really a good thing, because it's there to let that anger up. Under that anger may be shame. I just heard from a client that she thinks she said something inappropriate to her partner and felt guilty for it and felt so ashamed of herself. But at the same time, her partner's being a jerk. This is what we do. We make ourselves out to be somebody who should be perfect. We make ourselves out to be the villain sometimes. And we let our partners or our employers or the rest of us off the hook. We say, oh, I shouldn't have had that wine last night, but I needed to cope. I also heard that from a client. So many of us right now are feeling this threshold that's coming up. I'm doing a master class on it in about a week, actually. And we're all feeling this energy. It's the call for something different. And you may know what that is, or you may not know what it is. I'm feeling it as energy in my body today. And it feels like I could explode. I went out and walked it off this morning, and it's back. So you may be feeling the same thing. And if you're not really honoring yourself and letting yourself feel whatever is arising, feel the frustration, feel the anger, feel the shame, feel the guilt, it's just going to build, and you're going to projectile style say something to somebody that you don't really want to say. But if you do, that's okay. Apologize and use this time, use this energy to look at this. Where am I not loving myself? Where am I not honoring myself? Where am I not respecting myself? Because that's the answer to everything. When we don't fully accept ourselves, warts and all, sensitivity, weight, age, wrinkles, whatever it is, when we don't accept ourselves wholly and fully, then that just sets up a dynamic in our lives where we expect somebody else to give it to us. And that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Look at where where have you made people or things fit because they plugged a hole? Where are you making self-sabotaging behaviors or patterns okay instead of saying no? Or, this is the time to get really clear on what you want. This is the time to get clear on what you think you deserve. And it's time to stop putting up with the stuff that just doesn't fit. Stop trying to get love from all the wrong places, from partners who are truly maybe just injured little kids and don't know how to give. Stop trying to get intimacy from partners who either don't want it or aren't willing to face their own vulnerability. Most of us are feeling this big threshold, and it's like coming to the end of a cliff and being so sick and tired of what's been happening in our lives, whether that's not enough money, not enough clients, not enough happiness, not enough of what you really want out of life. So we're really clear on what that is right now. And the key is not to take it forward, to decide, no more. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to outsource my happiness. I'm not going to outsource my lack of worthiness and try to get it from somebody who doesn't know how to give it. I'm not willing to accept my old patterns of I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, the world isn't safe, I'm not loved. It's time to recognize those patterns and say, no, no more. Because who you are is so much more. And that's what's trying to come through right now. That part of you that knows that you are perfect, that part of you who loves you unconditionally, who accepts you unconditionally. It's the part of you that has the ideas for the next phase of your life. It's the part of you that drops in ideas, that cues up orchestrations, and that deliver to your lap exactly what you want. The old part of you couldn't do that if it tried. The pain is the portal. You've got to go through this pain and feel your powerlessness. We can't journal our way through it. We can't visualize our way through it. We can't therapy our way through it and talk it out. We have to feel it. And that's the importance of this time, to let you feel the rage, the unworthiness, the lack, whatever it is that you're feeling. It's all what I call our welcome to being human beliefs. There's about 10 of them. And it's the ego. And they're all coming up because it's time for something else in your life. Astrologers tell us that personal planets are moving into Aries. And that's this me energy, like, no, like a 2-year-old. It's really time for us to honor that little kid inside who's sick and tired of not getting her needs met, who is just sick and tired of not having a life that you love waking up to. It's all there. But again, the portal is the pain. The portal might be the rage. The portal might be a deep sense of loss, because what we've all done, all of us to some degree, is we've abandoned ourselves. We have abandoned ourselves and expected somebody or something outside of us to fill us up. And it doesn't work. This new era that we're entering into, if we choose it, is full of possibility. For many of you, it's why you're here on the planet. So many of the people that I work with have gone through some really tough stuff lately, just like I did. I just went through it early. And you're here to help other people in some way. You're coaches or you're a mentor. You are here to contribute, to be in service in some way. And that's what's opening up in this next phase of our lives for all of us, if we're willing to go there, if we're willing to say yes to the unknown, to say yes to uncertainty, and to stop trusting our doubt and trust that there's a part of you who already has the plan and the path. And how do you talk to it? How do you connect with it? And that's why you're going through whatever you're going through. If you're watching this video, that part of us is your higher self. It's the rest of you. And it speaks in frequency. And it speaks to you, to all of us, with excitement, with curiosity. And when we are angry, when we have had to numb out because the conditions in our life are so constrictive, we can't feel it. And so what many of you, I think, are going through is some version of what I did back in 2008. And that is, I felt like there was none of me in my life. I felt like I was being buried in a coffin. In a marriage I hated, and in work that wasn't me. There was just nothing in my life that felt like me. But we have such a tolerance for tolerating things. Because again, this is just human nature. We don't make changes until there's no other choice. And that's what many of you are going through right now. So what do you do with the rage? How do you use the portal? Get brutally honest with yourself. Feel what you're feeling. Let yourself scream it out if you have to. Feel the rage. That's how we get rid of this stuff. That's how we change our lives. We feel the feelings. Think of them as being trapped in your body. And until we get honest with ourselves and let ourselves feel it fully, they don't move. Because when we feel it fully, it's like letting air out of a balloon, and those feelings no longer control us. Do what you have to do. Get away. Go take a walk in the woods. Scream where nobody can hear you. I used to do that when I went through my divorce. And then ask yourself, what would I love? What would I really love? If I could have anything, what would it be? And not because you're broken, but go deeper into, what would I love? Ask yourself, why am I here? Talk to your higher self. Why am I here? If you don't know, why am I here? What do I want? How do I want to feel? That's what I ask my clients to ask themselves every day. How do I want to feel? Find ways to feel that now. And then ask your higher self, which is you, what's next? You might have a divorce in the works. You might be dealing with power issues. So many people are in a divorce. The other person has all the power and you're afraid. Life right now is designed to have us remember who we are, that we are not that small victimized child who was never loved, never honored, never got what she wanted, but that's just who you thought you were. So what do you really want? If you could make your life look like anything, what would you love? And then ask yourself why. Use this time to get clear on what patterns in you need to go. Patterns like money and love are really the same thing. And money touches us faster than anything that I know of. What do you say when it comes to money? Does money fall into your lap? Do ideas fall into your lap? And if they do, that's fabulous. What's your attitude with money? If money were a person, what personality would he have or she have? A stingy taskmaster. That was my old version of money. A stingy taskmaster with a whip and a megaphone telling me, you'll never be enough. Who are you? Sometimes it still comes back, and my money monster says, who do you think you are? You're too old. They won't listen. Look at the things that you're telling yourself. Just slow down. Awareness is everything. What are the thoughts you think? Write them down. Get them on paper. When they are negative thoughts, that's your ego, but that's not who you are. So use this time to get clear on what's got to go. And then use any anxiety, any of the rage. It's healing. Stop looking at it like, I shouldn't feel this way, or, oh, I should be bigger than this. Well, we're not. We're not here to be even keeled. It doesn't work that way. So many law of attraction people stuff feelings down because they think, I have to think good thoughts all the time. I have to take that thought back because I don't want that to happen. But these deep things that are coming up right now, the volcanoes that might be erupting in your life, are here to set you free. They're here to tell you what's served its shelf life, what you're not going to tolerate anymore from other people, and what you're not willing to tolerate from yourself, so that you can move into this next chapter of life fully loving and honoring yourself and fully trusting the part of you that cues up your life, that knows what you want, that brings in the next step, that brings in the next idea at the perfect time. Life doesn't have to be hard. I mean, that's a choice. We're not here to suffer. We're here to live an amazing life and get exactly what we want. And if we're not experiencing that, it's only because we have some old patterns in the way, and they're just old patterns that were instilled in us when we were little. One of mine is, I'm powerless. It comes up, but I don't believe it anymore. But I hear it from clients when they say, maybe this isn't meant to be. Maybe this dream I have isn't meant to be. Well, you get to decide what's meant to be. Another one is, I'm not enough. That runs in the background. When you think you're not enough, you can say affirmations, visualizations, live in the end. But as long as that pattern is running in the background, it creates a wall because it's really trying to protect you. All these beliefs that we have around, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, the world's not safe, I'm not safe. It's running in your nervous system, and they're all trying to keep you safe. But the greater part of you knows you're safe. The greater part of you says, I'm all that is. I have the plan and the path. I'm here to deliver you everything you want. So the portal is feeling what's there, feeling the anger, feeling the rage, not making yourself wrong for it, feeling whatever you're feeling anxiety, frustration. Feel it. They're coming up to leave. They are your personal portal, because in the next week or so and the weeks following, things are going to start to change. I believe on the 25th or so, according to astrologers anyway, we should notice a sudden shift of, what was I thinking? Why did I put up with that? How could I continue this? And what we should all be feeling is this warrior energy. And for women, that might feel uncomfortable because we weren't trained to be warriors. Society didn't tell us that that was okay. They told us we were bossy and witches. So honor that warrior energy in you. Follow your heart. Do the thing that you'd love to do. And if you feel inclined, I'm having a free masterclass on Saturday the 24th called The Shift That Changes Everything, because I'm so clear that we are up-leveling in ways that we have never done before. And your nervous system is the key to everything in this virtual reality, because it is a virtual reality. We're in a dream. What's the controller? Your nervous system, your beliefs. Until we learn how to work with our minds and our bodies, our nervous systems, we just keep going in loops. It's that saying of no matter where I go, there I am. We can't change the outer world. We have no control. We can't change anything in our lives on the exterior until we change on the inside. I'll drop the link for the masterclass, and that is Saturday, I believe it's the 24th. And honor your anger, honor your rage. Let it blow like a whale. Just let it blow. Let it out of your system. Love yourself for it. Love yourself for every imperfection. Notice the stories that you're telling yourself about you, about life, and about your dreams. Because some people have forgotten to dream. And that is how we create the new world. And that's why you're here. Thanks for listening. My name is Wanda Vitale with the Empowered Empaths, because emotional regulation is the key to creating anything that you want in your life. It's everything. The money, the lover, the work, the fulfilling work. Our nervous system is the gatekeeper. If you haven't hit subscribe, do that.